Good evening, YouTube. This is Johnny. Thought I'd make a video since it is quiet as a cemetery here. It is so quiet. Now that Carol's gone, she called this afternoon. She's in New Mexico until next Wednesday. So I'm here being a bachelor. It is September the 26th. It's a Wednesday. It is 7:33 here in West Michigan. It was a nice day. It was blue sky, clouds, wind. I really seriously contemplated going out to the Lake Michigan, and taking photos, but I just never got around to it. I did get around to going through my used books and putting a lot of them into my van. Now I got to find a place. I'm not sure exactly where I want to take the used books. I would like them to be sold and make money. I don't want to see them go into a dumpster. So, but I don't know. Most of the books that I loaded into the van were all bought at thrift stores anyway. They weren't really bought at new. They're all just used books. And I'm basically keeping books that I will read. If I'm not going to read it, hey, I'm 66 years old. If I live to be 80, that'd be a miracle. I noticed the other day when I was out shopping, grocery shopping, we didn't know this, but the door that we usually go through when we go to the grocery store, we didn't know at the time that it was being reinstalled or fixed. So we parked at where we usually park. And when we got to the front, the place that we go into the grocery store, it was all these workers were there, and it was all blocked off. So we had to walk further down to the other doors. And I noticed I was really getting, I was kind of tired. And I thought to myself, Johnny, you need to exercise. You need to really get out there and walk. I mean, you can't even walk from the car to the grocery store door. That's getting pretty scary. So yeah, I'm kind of sedentary. I don't really move around as much as I ought to. So I thought I'd make a video since I don't watch television. I've been reading this afternoon American Eden, David Hosack, Botany and Medicine in the Garden of the Early Republic by Victoria Johnson. I'm really enjoying this. It's not only is about botany there in the 18th century, but it's about early American history, about around the 1790s in there in America, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, all these early American politicians. So yeah, I've been really finding it interesting. I've read 81 pages. Last night I was on the internet and I was looking at a literary site called Literary Hub. It's where I find out about books, and I didn't know this until last night that I showed you this book last year. I was reading it. I think I read it last year. Let's see what year it came out. I think it came out last year. No, 2016. This came out in 2016, American Philosophy, a love story by John Kaag. And I really enjoyed it. It's like a little summary of American philosophy, and it's also a memoir of this John Kaag is professor of philosophy at the University of Massachusetts, Lowell. He is the author of Idealism, Pragmatism, and Feminism, the Philosophy of Ella Lehman Cabot, and Thinking Through Imaginative Aesthetics and Human Cognition. His writings has appeared in the New York Times, Harper's Magazine, the Christian Science Monitor, the Chronicle of Higher Education, many other publications. He lives outside Boston with his wife and daughter. Anyway, I didn't really finish this. I mean, I read most of it. So today I got about maybe 30, 40 pages left. But I found out last night that he has another book coming out, and it's coming. I ordered it last night from Amazon. It's coming in the mail Friday, and it's called I don't know. I can't. Anyway, he has another book out. I just have the description of it. I don't have the. I was going to bring my diary where I wrote it down, and I thought, I'm going to be really different tonight. I'm not going to show them my diary. I'm not going to mention the diary, the page number I'm on. And now, anyway, I'll show you the book when it comes in. I mean, I don't have the title with me. This is a description of the book. Anyway, it comes in the mail Friday, and I'll show you in a video. And this morning I read the Practica Theology, the Prolegomena, Volume 1 by Petrus Mastricht, translated from the Latin by Tom. And so I read that this morning. And like I said, I did work on the lower level. I boxed books. I put books in the van. I went through books, and I did that until 1:30. I got to be careful. Like I said, I'm really out of shape, and going up and down those stairs, I don't want to have a heart attack and be laying down there at the bottom of the stairs, and my wife coming home from New Mexico and finding me dead down on the lower level. Anyway, so I did that. Someone commented in my videos about the Bible. I did that thing last night for this person who wanted to see my Bible collection. I just showed there's a little bit of it. Most of the Bibles I have are down on the lower level. And I made a video a while back about those Bibles, and I went through my videos, and I know I have 3 years of videos. I have over 800 videos, and I couldn't find it because when I first started in BookTube, I didn't really use good titles to describe my videos, and I'm trying to be more specific when I describe what my videos, the content of them. But anyway, they asked me about the Hebrew Bible, and I thought I'd show you a Hebrew Bible. Now this is I bought this when I was in seminary. Now don't get me wrong, I don't read Hebrew. That's a long story, but I still kept it. It's a Hebrew Bible. As you know, the Hebrew Bible starts in the back. Genesis is in the back. See, it starts in the back. And then it goes to, in the last book of the Hebrew Bible, which is Chronicles, Second Chronicles is at the end. But yeah, I also told him I have an interlinear English, a Hebrew English Old Testament. So when you do, it's like volume. Let me see. Volume 1 is Genesis to Deuteronomy. And so what you have the Hebrew, like Genesis chapter 1. There's Hebrew. And then you have the Hebrew on top, and below it you have the English translation, which is very wooden. It's not smooth, but it gives you the basic English translation of the Hebrew. So, like it says, the earth and the heavens God He created in the beginning surfaced over in darkness, and empty, formless she was now the earth. See how I mean? But I also have downstairs a set of the Old Testament put out by the Jewish Society, Translation Society. I could have shown. I just have all kinds of Bibles anyway. And I said I have a Greek New Testament. Now, I was many years ago, even before when I was still in California, and I was working volunteering at the Richmond Rescue Mission in Richmond, California. It was many years ago. I took the BART to Oakland, and I was at a used bookstore. It was like 75, probably 74, 75, 1975, and I bought a Greek New Testament. I still have it. And see this is a peacock feather, and what this peacock feather is that my first foster parent, Maria Cortez, who I lived with for a short period of time when I was like 16, she had she had a little farm, and she had peacocks. She had geese, she had chickens, horses, she had peacocks, and this is one of the feathers from that peacock, and I still have it in my Greek New Testament. So this is a Greek New Testament, but it's an interlinear, so it has the Greek, and then underneath it has the English. I bought this, still have it. And as I commented to the person, I never learned Greek or Hebrew. The reason why is that when I never learned English, I don't know what a verb is. I don't know what an adjective is. I don't know what a presupposition is, or I don't know how you could sentence. If you don't know the grammar, the mechanics of English grammar, you can't learn Greek or Hebrew. Because if you don't know English grammar, I mean the mechanics, the pronunciation and all those commas and things like that, you can't learn Greek or Hebrew. And I didn't know that. So when I went to Bible college, I took New Testament Greek, and I couldn't do it. And I hired a tutor, and he gave up on me. And that was very devastating for me, because I had all these dreams of being a New Testament scholar, of learning Greek and Hebrew and blah, 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 because I had read about the Puritans and that they would go out in the woods and they would read the New Testament in Greek. And they knew Latin, and they knew, all these ancient languages. And so I had all these, but when I got to Bible college, and I had it, and it wasn't required that you take New Testament Greek, but I wanted to find out. I thought I would learn it, and then it was just devastating to realize that I could not learn it. But then when I went to seminary, I tried again. They offered Greek during the summer, and I failed, and I hired a tutor. But my tutor, she, unfortunately and sadly, she died in her sleep. So I never learned Greek or Hebrew. And it was kind of, in a way, it was kind of lucky, kind of good, because some seminaries, you can't graduate unless you pass Hebrew and Greek. And the seminary I went to, they had a clause that I didn't have to, So what I have a Master of Divinity diploma. I don't have a Master of Divinity degree because I didn't take Greek or Hebrew. So it's always been kind of disheartening for me because I had, like when I was really young, I had all these dreams of being a biblical scholar, New Testament in Hebrew and doing all the exegesis and doing all this. But I want to be honest with you that when you get out into the ministry, you talk to a minister, most ministers, ask them if they can read Greek, the New Testament in Greek, if they can read the Hebrew Bible in Hebrew. I'd say most ministers, after they got out of seminary, they forgot the Greek and Hebrew, and they depend upon lexicons and word studies. I was going to show you I collected a big, huge library of word studies on each word of the New Testament, each word in the Hebrew Bible, major words and things like that, and commentaries. That's why I have such a huge library, because I built my library to help me to do exegesis, to open up the texts, to go into the Greek and Hebrew without knowing Greek and Hebrew. So that's why I have so many books. But you have to realize that you can know Greek and Hebrew, you can know all these things, the ancient languages, and not know God, not know spiritually the Bible. So, but I think it does enrich your understanding of Scripture to know Greek and Hebrew. I mean, I wish I did. But I'm just not smart. I read a lot, but I'm just kind of average. My wife says I have learning disabilities. Maybe I do. I don't know. But anyway, also when I was down there digging up these books, I came across an old Bible I didn't know I have. This little Holy Bible. I don't know where this came from. It's a little, it is a King James. Little tiny thing. I don't know where I got it. I got tons of old books, old Bibles, old commentaries. But now I'm 66 years old. I'm retired. I sit here at night talking into a camera, talking into the world of YouTube and showing them my books. Did I show this book? Oh yeah, this is the other. This is the one I got in seminary. This is the Greek New Testament. This is not an interlinear. It's just plain New Testament Greek. There's no translations of it. It's just... Now, wouldn't it be kind of neat if I could just read this and read New Testament Greek and without... But I don't. But I kept all this stuff, even though it torments me. I even have my I have all kinds of that stuff now. I have a library of New Testament Greek books, Old Testament Hebrew books, dictionaries. I got tons. I got a whole huge closet full of that stuff. And my wife says, "Why do you keep it?" Well, I don't know. You can dream. So yeah, that's my Hebrew Bible. There's the Hebrew. Here's my old Greek New Testament when I got in seminary. Interlinear Hebrew English Old Testament. And like I said, today I read American Eden by Victoria Johnson. This morning I read Theoretica, Practical Theology, Prolegomena, Volume 1. And I read some more of the American Philosophy, a love story, which is an intellectual history of American philosophy and a memoir about his own personal life, getting a divorce, falling in love, and remarrying somebody and all that. So that's what's going on here on a Wednesday night here in West Michigan. Tomorrow's a Thursday. I got to find some place to unload all these books so I can load up the van again tomorrow. And then Friday, and then Saturday, then Sunday, then Monday, then Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Hopefully, I'll get at least 1,000 books out of the house, at least by the end of this month. But who knows? Maybe my body will break down and I'll lose any kind of oomph. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you're having a good night. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the new subscribers. Feel free to ask me questions. If you got anything you want to share, feel free. Until next time, bye.